Rumi said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." There are people in this world who carry an invisible kind of strength. They are the ones who stay calm when everything falls apart, who offer help but rarely receive it, who listen so deeply that others forget they too have something to say. They smile when their heart is tired, and they say, "I'm fine," in a voice that almost convinces even themselves. They have simply learned how to survive without being seen. Psychologically, this is not a mystery. It is a pattern, one born from years of learning that reaching out may not be safe. Dr. John Bowlby, who pioneered attachment theory, found that when children grow up with love that arrives and disappears unpredictably, they develop what's called an avoidant attachment style. These children stop asking. They learn that needing someone might lead to disappointment or rejection, and so they begin to rely only on themselves. That self-reliance grows roots. It turns into identity. They become the strong friend, the silent listener, the one who fixes everything and asks for nothing. It feels noble at first. Independence always does, but beneath it lies exhaustion. Because no matter how strong you are, carrying your pain alone slowly empties you. In his diaries, Franz Kafka once wrote, "I am a cage in search of a bird." That single line captures the inner life of those who never ask for help. They long for connection, yet the walls they built for protection have become their prison. They want to be known, but the moment someone comes close, they retreat. They say, "I don't want to bother you," or "It's not that bad," not because they want to lie, but because vulnerability feels dangerous. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people consistently underestimate how willing others are to help them. We think asking for help will annoy or burden others, but the truth is most people feel honored to be asked. Still, the brain doesn't listen to statistics, and the memory says, "When I reached out once, no one came, so now silence feels safer than disappointment." Fyodor Dostoevsky once wrote, "Man is sometimes extraordinarily passionately in love with suffering." He didn't mean people enjoy pain. He meant that when pain becomes familiar, it feels safer than the unknown relief of asking for help. Suffering, in its strange way, can become a home. People who never ask for help often carry a philosophy without realizing it. If I can endure alone, I am strong. If I need someone, I am weak. But that's not strength. That's survival. Rumi wrote, "Don't get too comfortable with your pain. It has a purpose, but it is not meant to be your dwelling place." And yet many live there, quietly, respectfully, holding themselves together with invisible threads of duty, loyalty, and guilt. There's a concept in psychology called learned helplessness, first studied by Martin Seligman. It describes what happens when someone learns after repeated disappointments that no matter what they do, they can't change their situation. But what we see in people who never ask for help is something slightly different. It's learned self-sufficiency. They've taught themselves that the safest way to avoid disappointment is to expect nothing from anyone. They are often the kindest people you'll ever meet. They sense moods before anyone speaks. They notice pain in others like a language they've always known, because empathy is their survival skill. Yet when it comes to themselves, they feel invisible. The thought of saying, "I need help," feels almost shameful. Their mind whispers, "You're the helper, not the one who needs help. You should be able to handle this." And so they do. They handle everything. Dostoevsky also wrote, "The soul is healed by being with children." And what he meant was that innocence, the simple act of being open, unguarded, honest, heals what adulthood taught us to hide. When someone who has always been self-reliant finally asks for help, even in the smallest way, it's not weakness, it's bravery of the highest order. It's saying, "I am ready to believe that not everyone will leave." Therapists often talk about corrective emotional experiences. These are small, real-life moments that contradict our old wounds. For example, when you finally ask for help and someone actually shows up. When you say, "I'm not okay," and instead of being judged, you are met with quiet understanding. These moments rewrite the story the mind has told for years. In one study on social connection from Stanford University, researchers found that feeling supported, even minimally, can reduce stress responses in the body almost as effectively as medication. That's how powerful being helped is. We're not designed for isolation. We're wired for co-regulation, the soothing that comes from being emotionally understood. But when someone grows used to loneliness, asking for help feels like learning a new language. Their voice shakes, their chest tightens, they feel childish, exposed. Yet beneath that discomfort is the first spark of healing, because the moment you allow someone to help, you're not just accepting kindness. You're reteaching your nervous system what safety feels like. Kafka wrote, "You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Do not even listen, simply wait. The world will freely offer itself to you." Maybe that's what asking for help is: not begging, not demanding, but waiting long enough to let the world reach you. The hardest part isn't asking, it's believing you are worth helping. And you are. You are not weak for needing rest. You are not dramatic for feeling deeply. You are not a burden for wanting to be understood. Rumi once said, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." There is nothing small about your pain and nothing shameful about needing someone to hold part of it for a while. People who never ask for help are often the ones who give the most. They carry the world quietly, hoping someone will notice the weight without being told. They believe that love means never needing, but love, at its truest, is mutual dependence. It's not a rescue, but a rhythm, a give and take, a breathing together. Maybe this is what Dostoevsky meant when he said, "To love someone means to see them as God intended them." To love is to see someone's need not as weakness, but as humanness. So if you are one of those who stay quiet, if you are tired but keep smiling, please remember asking for help doesn't make you less whole. It lets others be human with you. One day you will speak your need aloud and someone will answer gently, "I have been waiting for you to let me in." And in that moment, the years of silence will begin to soften. You'll realize that strength was never about carrying it alone. It was about learning to trust that you never had to. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Maybe that wound, the one you've hidden for so long, is not a flaw to hide. Maybe it's the doorway to everything that will heal you.